Well, this is a new class. It originally was TESOL, was taught over in modern languages. And hopefully someday there'll be other people teaching ESL. You won't have to look at me. I can change hats occasionally. I want to welcome you to TESOL. This will have a different number next year, but it'll be one of the classes for the ESL endorsement. This class, we're using a book called Sheltered Instruction Content. And you might wonder, well, is that a general book? Well, it gives a good background on, it talks about sheltered instruction somewhat, but it does talk about kind of the history, and I will take some time to give you a nice, what I call this kind of a buffet, a general introduction to English as second language. For some of you, maybe the last class, because these aren't really in a sequence. I'm the only person playing the music. So, however, it will be a class that will be good for people coming in initially. I'm going to explore some things. I just redid the syllabus, and I'm going to have you do an interview with an ESL person, and don't make it someone in your own school, because that's not really stretching you very much. It could be somebody at the state level. Theoretically, you could interview me, but I think you're sick of me, so you don't want to do that. I think it'd be good to interview your local ESU ESL specialist. And you may say, well, it's summer, nobody's around. You can use the phone. You could even do a typed interview if you really want to, although I think it'd be easier for people just to talk with you. And then I want you just to write it up, 3 or 4 pages max. And, well, I don't want 1 page. I mean, come on, the old freshman college deal. Hey, I thought it was a 5-page essay. I wrote really small or large. What I would like you to do is to write it up a little bit like a magazine article. So that's one of the exercises or assignments. There's going to be 5 discussion questions. I'm going to wedge in 5 and 4 weeks. I'll figure out how I get the 5th one in. And then also, I'm going to have you write a couple of what I call informal, I call them essays, and you can document them, but you don't have to have a bib or anything like that. But I want you to find in my discussion, because I'm going to be giving you some extra materials. I'm going to be giving you materials so that you can explore. I've got a handout that kind of goes over the different types of programs. And I also know that there are a lot of people in here with experience, and I defer to you. I mean, you may say, Dr. Tracy, that's not how we do it in our district. We prefer this. And I want to share this information because this is just like the other class I got going on. There's all kinds of things, networking and information that you could gain from this class that you can share. I need it. You need it. Everybody needs it. We need to work with each other. So, so that's kind of this. I have modules for this. When I set it up earlier in the year, I put in modules. I really don't like the term modules or modulars, or reminds me of the 70s or something. I don't know. People always build those little school buildings around the big school. We're going to put in a modular out here, and so we're going to basically be going through this 2-chapter. I think there's 8 chapters. We're going to do 2 a week. I'm going to give you a video tomorrow. I'm going to have 1 video discussing chapter 1, then 1 video chapter 2. I'll have some additional handouts I'll give you. It's July, and let's face it, I'm willing to bet this class is not the center of your life. I may be wrong, but thank you. I'll give out autographs if it is. But I think the smart move would be to try to make this as, what's the word, applicable to your situation. So some of these assignments, I'm going to try to gear them toward you. I also welcome you to send me emails, and I really like to talk on the phone. My other class I'm doing phone interviews with people, or eventually will. And I've actually had talks already with some people. I like to, it's kind of summer, I'm kind of stuck here, so this is pretty much my life, okay? Although we're going to have a reveal party on July 4th about our future grandchild, the gender. So I guess that'll be the highlight of my month, you know. I have a birthday this month, but we won't talk about that. What else? Oh, and this module is set up. I've got the module or whatever. You click it on and you work on it. I'll add the 2 videos of myself tomorrow. There's already a video from a series on overview on English as second language. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to watch, and it won't all be me, thankfully. I invite you to ask specific questions. I like to find solutions to things. I'm really excited in my other class, which is a company advocacy class, that I have people asking questions. And in fact, if you don't find someone to interview, I probably could arrange or get you the name of somebody who has experience in doing ESL. Actually, in my other class, I have one person teaching in Turkey. I have one person who taught in the Ukraine. I have another person in Aguas Calientes, Mexico. I believe he's teaching down there. And then I have one person in northeastern China. So if you really want to find out some interesting facts and information, there's no need. I mean, you can either, even if you type them, but I'm sure you could just chat online, or even do a little Zoom interview just so you could talk to them. I guess it'd be okay to record it if you get their permission, just so you can watch it over and write down things. I don't like to take notes when I'm talking to people. I'd rather try to remember, because I lose it if I try to take notes while I'm chatting. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing for this month. I'm going to be real careful with the text. We're going to follow this strictly by the book and cover the main ideas, and then I'll add some more stuff in, and then I'll try to come up with some questions. And occasionally, I've done this. Oh, by the way, if you'll notice, I'm having you do what I call an ESL culture map. And that means you're gonna do a map. If you've been in my classes before, you do a map. I mean, it could be 11 by 17, and you can take a picture of it. But this particular assignment I'm really excited about, because the focus is on ESL experiences. It's not a culture map about where you grew up. It's more about what experiences have you had with diversity and English as second language. It could be your Spanish high school classroom, as it was for me, because I really experienced learning Spanish, really learned Spanish in high school, which is interesting. I mean, it was not a native speaker, but it was so well arranged and so well done and so communicative and visual, and we excelled. And I kept my Spanish from all those years. It's not perfect, but after a couple of years, I still remember it. We'll leave it at 2 years. I remember my high school reunion just 5 years ago. What else? I think that's about it. I do want you to make the map interesting, and then I want you to do your introduction on the discussion. And remember that some of you know each other. There's 2 or 3 of you in this class or in the other class, but there's only 10 of you. So I want you to really respond to everybody. Create a little community. You don't have to type tons, but I think most of you are outstanding keyboardists. So I look forward to reading those. I do indeed. Email me if you have any questions, you have any problem getting the text. Now, this text is readily available. My other 2 texts are kind of odd ones in my other class, but this one, mainstream. And if you get the 5th or 4th edition, I think there's 2 different editions. Either one's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not sacred or anything. So I'm going to let you go now, because I didn't want to make this too long. So thank you, and I will put this up, and then I will be on again tomorrow doing some other stuff for you.